First, I would like to thank our buyer of the Yamaha YZF R15. So this is the last video that we will see it here on Pixie Moto. It's a good transaction. Thank you so much, sir. Shout out. The YZF R15 is a very, very great sports bike, but I sold it because I just simply wanted more. I have no problems with it. It runs good. It feels good while riding. It has a lot of potentials. It's just me. So, thank you R15 for the safe ride, for the fast, safe ride. You are really good in riding and banging those. I mean, that cylinder because it's only one cylinder. So, enjoy the sports bike, sir. Thank you again. Welcome to Wiltec San Fernando, where all dreams come true. So, yan yung road niya for Wiltec San Fernando. Diyan located ang Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki, and BMW. Let's check the big bikes of KTM San Fernando, Pampanga. So this is a Duke 390. The 373cc talk is already done. Based on the markings and on the stickers, displacement on papers and on the bike, it is already 400cc. So the capacity of this engine is already 400cc, expressway legal. As I've said, to make it clear, it's already embedded on the engine with a 400cc. So you can do expressway and long rides if you want to, and if you buy this KTM Duke 390. At the price range of 289 peso, you can have this naked bike at KTM San Fernando, Pampanga. I mean, just look at the looks, the styling of this bike. Let's enjoy the video looking every single part of it. Every angle, every styling is well crafted. But before we do consider, why KTM? Enough with the pleasantries. Let's talk reality. So bakit KTM? In our past video, which you can watch on the videos below, we went big bike shopping or big bike hunting. So we do our research on buying. Hindi naman ako mayaman tulad ng iba na you can buy the bike that you want here and then buy another bike there. So nagtatrabaho din tayo para mabili yung bike natin. Like the one we are about to buy, babayaran lang natin siya as monthly or installment. So after looking into different kind of bikes like European bike, Italian bike, Japanese bike, Chinese bikes, even the CF Moto, the Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, Benelli, Bristol, we check all those bikes from 400cc to 500cc, which is binibili natin dahil gusto natin mag expressway or mag long rides to have that adventure that we want and to go to places more easily and conveniently. So in that part we have our different preferences, but for me this using the expressway is one of them. Here we have the RC390 for 300,000. It is a race bike, so with the adventure that I like or the long ride, hindi siya masyadong advisable if may passenger ka. So for me, I have my wife, so this is not considerable. Mahihirapan siya dahil dun sa seating position which is racing position. But this is also expressway legal with a 400cc engine displacement. So why KTM? KTM is a European owned company which have been here in the Philippines for years, and yes, let's tackle the issue that it's overheating before yung mga issue ng mga previous owners way back 2017-18. KTM has already addressed those, so at this point it's not even considerably or hindi na siya iniisip pa tapos na tayo sa mga years na yon. So way back years ago na siya, which is every manufacturer has one when they're starting, like the Bristol. Some issues are being encountered. This is not just on motorcycles, even on cars. They have like that when they're starting a new product, so it's normal. So what we have here is the KTM Duke 690. This is a 2016 model with Akrapovic exhaust. This is the KTM Adventurer 390. So yes, on the name it's a 390, but on engine displacement, as I've said before, naka-indicate siya sa mismong engine, naka-embed na 400cc siya. I really considered buying this one because it's higher, it's bigger on the looks. Remember that part? We'll show it in the video later. But this has a lot of good feedback and very few cons, like they're only nitpicking just to say something. The Adventure 390 is a really good starter bike with rider modes, ABS, traction control on a 400cc adventure bike at the price range of I think 300 or 310,000. It's 20k more than the KTM Duke 390. This is an adventure bike, not, I mean, it looks like a naked bike without the flarings too, but this is more on the adventure, like you can ride it off-road with those tires. It's already set up to do that. KTM is more expensive, or mas mahal siya sa Bristol, pero if you would look at them in person, yung pagkakagawa niya, you can compare it with bigger brands like the Japanese or the Italians. Look at this. They're top of the crop. The KTM Super Duke R and the KTM Adventure 1290. These are both 1290cc. So 1 liter 250cc of horsepower goodness. I mean, just look at the Super Duke R. This is a bike that not just go very fast, pero tinatalo na niya. I mean, competing already, like literally with Ducati, every big manufacturers. That's how good the KTM is. These are both 1290cc sports bike. I mean, this one, the 1290 Duke, is made to go very fast. Like they're already calling it super bike at this level. And then the Adventurer is made for trailing with a very long trails, that if you want to go anywhere, it can do anything that you want with it. This is a 2016 model, 175 horsepower, Bosch ABS system, Brembo braking system, WP suspension, little bit of LCD tachometer display, chromoly trellis frame. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the Duke 390. It has 44 horsepower, very lightweight chassis and engine, which is totoo kasi from the feeling of the YZF R15, napakagaan ng KTM Duke. It's a 400cc engine compared to 155cc of the Yamaha. It has WP upside down fork. Yes, single disc in front and at the rear, but it has ABS. This is the one I'm trying to tell you a while ago. Did you see? The Adventure and the KTM Duke is just almost the same in height, in length. The Adventure just looks a little bigger because of the styling of the headlight, and a little bigger with the seats, wider, I mean. KTM ready to race. I mean, they are, in a way. So here, welcome to the KTM family. We already purchased the KTM Duke. So what they don't tell you upon purchasing, or other reviews, or yung mga ibang bumibili, is that pagbili mo ng KTM, i-activate nila si KTM online. Yan. So the activation is a little tricky. So I really had my patience tested here, because the staff are really nice, and they're very entertaining, but the activation is quite a process. Most motorcycles, they will just set it up for like 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Mostly they are just gonna turn it on, put the battery, check everything, which is very good. The KTM also did that. Just the activation part, minsan nagloloko yung machine. So if it does like what it happened to me, it would take you 3, 4 to 5 hours before it is activated. So yun, medyo hassle, because I was really excited driving the bike. I mean, I already paid a lot for it. And waiting 3 to 5 hours, it takes the excitement, the fun out of it. But mostly, they were doing everything they can to activate it. Na-tempo lang talaga na the system is not working. So dito, they're doing the pre-checkup of the KTM Duke 390. So yes, we purchased a KTM Duke 390. Why? I mean, a lot of people will say that you should buy the Kawasaki, the Honda, Yamaha. Yamaha is mostly out of the range, because it's already, we're going to the 600cc class. But why KTM? So firstly, the quality of the product. The European owned, uh, the engineers made sure, the designer made sure that every single part of it, every single small detail of it is absolutely well crafted. Pinag-isipan mabuti. So hindi sila kumuha lang ng something plastic to cover this, cover that. I was shocked because we were paying upstairs on the second floor of the Wheeltech San Fernando, and then when I went down, it's already on. I was expecting that I will be part of that process. It's not, the engine is not on, just the light, so it's okay. It's just the battery, they turn it on. Again, KTM San Fernando did a very very good job on checking everything in the bike. It's just they're also human, so sometimes there are some mistakes or some even factory defects, if they are. So I think they're still fixable. So we are talking about why KTM. So aside from being well designed and very futuristic, very stylish design, which I really like, and you can see on my smile that I'm really happy upon the purchase. There is nothing that I would change on it. I mean, I like the exhaust. I like all the LED. You don't have to change small details. I even like the side mirror. This is how fun we are. So this is us just enjoying and having fun. As I've said, the Wheeltech San Fernando and KTM Pampanga are very nice. You can see their details below in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. The list can go on and on why you would choose KTM. Pwedeng you would hear a lot of people saying a lot of good things about it, but for me, one of them is that the KTM Super Duke R. I mean, this is the older model, yes, but from this model, the older models until today, the 2021 Super Duke R, they are well built. So the engineers, they're really working very dedicatedly to make sure that everything runs perfectly, everything is really good in quality. The KTM Duke 390 was derived from this one, a bike that no one can really say that won't perform as well as any other brand. I've never tested a KTM Duke R or the 1290, but seeing it in person and the international reviews upon it made sure that KTM is not joking on what they're doing, that you will be safe while riding. Joining in different variety of motorsports, proving themselves, is a big factor that their quality of products is worth the money that you're gonna pay. Yes, they are a little more expensive because you will get what you pay for. At first, I was really hesitant with the KTM because it's a little more than my budget. But when I started looking at it carefully, checking at it carefully, considering all the factors that you will get, the WP suspension, upside down fork, the tires, they are really good. Oh, and beside the KTM San Fernando, the Crave, uh, we will highly recommend the shawarma here while waiting for your KTM. It's really good. And the place is so chill, you will actually enjoy it. And a little forget about the activation process of the KTM. Out of 10 shawarma, I will give this like 8.5. It's that good. And then you can have your milk tea or coffee, whatever you prefer. Dito, they're doing their final checks with the KTM Duke. As I've said, they really did a good job making sure that everything is running, everything is okay with the KTM Duke. The DRL of the headlight, it looks nothing you can compare. It looks so good. The TFT display. Let's talk about the TFT display. One of the biggest factor why I choose the KTM Duke. Aside from the color of the TFT display, which no other manufacturers give in a 400cc class. It adjusts, it adapts. If it's night, it would change into dark. And look how premium your KTM is when you buy it. It even have its own bag for the manual. So finally, activated na yung machine. So we're about to start the first start of the KTM Duke 390 here in Pixie Moto. First start. Cool.
Sir, bali ito po yung kill switch natin. Pag naka-off to ng katulad nito, hindi natin siya mag-start. Opo, mag-force it ang safety meter. Dapat kailangan natin ito safety meter. Yung mag-input pa ang natin, sir. Kung marinig mo sa kung mag-input pa. O kasi, kahit ako makaramdaman siya.
Sige. Tapos kasi ano yun?
Sir, start na natin. Sir, kung tayo natin, kung tayo kailangan natin sa sir, lahat po kasi ng gagawin sa motor is kailangan ma-upload sa KTM Duke. Katulad nito, ito yung unang diagram ko sir, automatic na kasundan sa KTM.
Sige yan, sumaya ako sa nangyari. Kanina naglalakad kami sa labas, talagang ayoko na.
Hindi po, talagang ganun. Dito na nangyari po.
Naiintindihan ko yung part.
Ano,
Pero malungkot kasi yun. Nagbayad ka ng ganun, kinas ko.
May nangyari din sa amin sir,
diba?
dalawang
Ikaw, kung nag-cash ka, umuwi ka mo ng dala.
Dalawang unit. Tapos, hindi na, nag-update naman po yung exito namin, hindi namin siya mapaandar. Ayaw ko talaga, nakiusap ko talaga kasi wala ko kami talaga. Kaya balik ko muna na po kayo. Yung isang copy sa inyo. Tapos yung isang copy sa inyo. Ngayon sir, regarding naman po sa warranty natin, at least po, ay 2 years warranty, unlimited mileage po tayo.
Ano ba yung tools?
Diba sir, hanapin naman yung marami dito.
Sige.
Tapos, 2 years warranty, unlimited mileage po tayo. Meron lang po tayo.
Sige. Whee! Puta na. Tabi mo lang dito, kuya. Sa akin to eh.
Sir, papipicture
Ah, oh, sige. Sorry.